Welcome to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by The Onyx Path, Roll20, and viewers like you. Thank you to our patrons who support us monetarily, give us a little back so we can check out some interesting mic stuff, which I said I was going to look at and I didn't do at all, but we're working on it. Brenna, thank you to Al, Alan Michael, Alex, Alexander, Algos, Badur, Bernie, Blood Angel, Brandon, Carson, Christian, Danny, Doc, Emil, Giovanni, Inglorious, I'm going to guess bastards. Yeah, bastard, yep, singular. Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Nova, One True Michael, Harry, Puppeteer, Ramon, Riverscrad, Brian, Schmitty, Sebastian, Cinna, Stefan, Seranus, Terry, The Banty, Thomas, Usuf Sommer, Firekeeper, and Zoltan, our current patrons for the month. Thank you so much, guys. And yes, not all. I am totes subscribed. I appreciate it. Cool. A quick thing, because I keep forgetting to mention it at the end of the stream, so I'm going to mention it now. They Came From Beyond the Grave is up on Kickstarter. If you guys want to play a campy, over-the-top, like horror movie style TTRPG, and I mean like in the B-movie style, either as if it's actually happening in like the 1920s or as a throwback as a movie from the 80s back to the 1920s, you can play both styles. It's up, it's running. I mean, it's literally a game that has the mechanic for making quips as a gameplay mechanic. So all those out of character where you're like, haha.
I know you're not supposed to win, but I would win.
Yes, I was like, what? And it is, and for some of you who are like, but I want my serious tabletop RPG. Okay, that's fine. You can actually, it's an optional rule. You can literally go, we're not using quips, and throw it out. I don't know how you would live with yourself, but you can do that. The trailer is up.
The Exarchs would judge you.
Yeah. The trailer is absolutely terrific and super like B-movie schlocky. It's terrific. I was going to spoil some stuff about it, but just go watch it. Go look up They Came From Beyond trailer, or Came From Beyond the Grave trailer. This is, of course, the sequel sister thing to They Came From Beneath, and I think there's going to be another one that is going to be all sciencey that's going to be Come From Beyond the Stars or something like that. So yeah. Does it have that one where the set is poorly made, you can burst through the walls? I don't know. Probably that's something you might be able to get away with, but it isn't.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, you're not taking place in a movie. It's just that setting, very Scooby-Doo-esque, actually. Anyways, the Scooby-Doo is a national treasure and not a B-movie. Anyways, when we last left the Cabal, they were having a good old time, flying back from an Emanation Realm. I have dubbed the
Network
project.
And I were flying back.
Oh,
Network
true.
and Songbird flew back, yeah.
Yep.
Christmas co-located, same people.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. When you have the opportunity to fly, why wouldn't you?
Obviously, when the Cabal took the which Knight's rating order are you, none of the rest of you got Windrunners or Skybreakers.
No.
Or just didn't care.
Songbird would be a Skybreaker.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Sorry,
Edge
guys.
Dancer.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm an Else caller, apparently, and I'm okay with that.
Chris is a Dustbringer.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I know. Craig, go read the books. I know it's on your list.
No idea what you're talking about.
I know. It's on the list. It's okay.
Nerd shit.
Yeah. Super nerdy shit. So, yes, we're back in New York. The big thing being that Songbird wanted to go meet some Seraphim, because up until now has never summoned any. And when you're told that there's a whole cluster of them just hanging out ready to be met, Songbird was on board and then had to deal with Cartoon Einstein, and then realized that he'd been plugged into a computer and was not getting probably what he expected, but he did get what he needed.
Hella arcane beats.
Arcane beats and
resource.
perfected materials, yes. Which very, very important. Yes. And of course, poor Weird, who's like, forces I don't understand, actually came back with a little bit of an understanding, especially since she had, I don't know, 6 hours worth of wearing Force's mage sight for the entire time. So yeah. Cool. But yeah, we pick up with half of the cabal, a little bit more, stepping through co-location, network, and Songbird, flying back. I think we determined it's about 2 hours, as the crow flies, or the Songbird flies, I guess.
As the Songbird flies.
You're welcome. And just beelining back to New York City and finding your way back to Lower Manhattan and the Rookery cabal. At this point, I imagine it is late evening, pushing 9-10 o'clock. You guys had any immediate plans after your visit or anything like that?
That was a hell of a thing.
Indeed it was. Oh, yeah, actually, that's right. Rose had already left. And then you guys had kind of... Because that was I think one of our last comments was you guys suggesting that she talk with Oceans Under Mountains for that whole, like, blending
Work-life balance.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the last things that you guys had talked about after stepping through the co-location.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start, I guess, sorting our stuff we brought back and like putting it away.
Sure.
Probably drop the spells on it that make it small, because yeah. So that's probably it's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, undoing the spells is a snap.
But no, I mean, like, actually organizing it all and finding a place for it all to go.
I imagine, do you guys have, like, a little backyard that I think Atreides has slowly accumulated material in?
It's a junkyard.
This little, small, organized junkyard.
It's probably like a, caged-in corner of the room or something like that.
Yeah. It's like
with some shelves and it's pretty. If Songbird especially has been involved, it's probably very organized.
I don't take Atreides as being a particularly a sloppy person either. Everything is kind of neat and organized. Yeah. Rose had left. Titus was gone after feeding you all. Yeah. And then, so we had the resources. We had basically a bunch of steel, a little bit of perfected wood that was gifted to Rose with the, mention of, we're going to make you some cool yantra. And then there is a perfected potted plant. I can't remember what we determined it was. But yeah.
I was looking for an orchid.
Like an orchid or something?
Yeah.
Oh, orchid. That's right. Yes. And it is pristine, and it's no longer in that super regular low poly look. As you guys drew it away from the Emanation Realm, the warping and aligning of stuff kind of fades, but it still is a perfected orchid. And yeah, I think Atreides with her one dot of life goes, what do I put in it?
Right now it's gonna sit on my gonna sit on my workbench and be pretty.
Pretty accurate. I'm trying to think if there was any other wrap up. I think that was all the main things I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, for me at this point I need mana, so I'm going to I need oblations.
What do you plan on doing?
Upcycle or repair a broken complex device, join similar things into a united whole. So yeah, I just want to basically go to my junk pile and spend probably, let's say it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm probably gonna go until 1 just tinkering with things.
Cool.
I don't know how much mana that would get me. But
Trying to remember, because it's going to be limited by your mind arcana per day. Let me see. Is oblations. Yeah, cannot gain more mana per day than dots in the ruling arcanum. But yeah, so in my mind, in this case, since you're trying to like kind of organize and put stuff together, it's not a discrete action. Like some of them are like read a study on psychology. You do that. That is, however long that takes. That's an oblation. So for something like this, where you're just like sorting and organizing, or similar to when like Songbird or Colossus are like smithing and working some stuff. For me, it's like every hour is another point of mana that's drawn back into your pattern out of nowhere.
So that'd be 3. Yeah.
I do a similar thing after I get back and scour and ink some mana out of the hollow and keep collecting tasks.
Yeah, because you've been keeping up with that hallow and keeping it empty, so it's only got 3 currently.
2. 2.
2. Okay, I couldn't remember if we'd upgraded the hallow yet.
It's 2 dots.
How long do we have Apocalypse up?
Oh, second sight?
Yeah, second sight, sorry.
Sarah realizes that being on the ground does not hide her, right?
We can still see you.
What are you doing?
All right, we won't.
I think she's looking for the cat. I guess she's looking for the cat. I don't know.
Okay, we won't judge.
Fucking weirdo.
Yep.
So, how long do we have second sight up?
You cast it with advanced duration, right?
Yeah, it's there for a while until I drop it. Like, I'd probably drop it that night unless you ask me to keep it up.
Can you keep it up?
Sure.
Like,
I'm gonna go
for how
a walk.
long?
I enticed you into the electrical ways of gravitation and data collection.
Don't get me wrong. Forces is completely bonkers, but I feel like I'm getting a handle on it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Just be grounded before you do that.
Sure. I'm not planning on being a conductor or anything, but
Hey, there's a quip. Give me a fucking extra dice or some shit.
Yep. I don't know how the mechanic works. Sorry. We'll have to pick up the. We'll have to pick up the book.
so I'm just gonna take off and go wander the street, looking at power lines and.
You be careful because you are at a disadvantage on like actually seeing things while you're doing this.
Don't get hit by a car.
Yeah.
Because you're
Staring at the pretty lights. Do you want to? Well, no. Titus is probably he's asleep because it's midnight.
he's in bed.
Yeah. Let's see here, because I want to remember exactly what Forces Mage Sight gives you. Detects motion, highlights presence of environmental tilts, fire, electricity, other hazards. You can tell if a device is powered or not. In New York City, man, this is some like we have like it's the I know it's sacrilegious to bring up this movie, but it's like the third Matrix movie, and just it's a city of lights and just electricity flowing everywhere, and yeah, especially with motion and cars and people moving about. Yeah, it's probably a trip, which I think is what Weird was looking for, anyways.
Yeah.
Just be careful. I'm gonna warn you as you go
I
outside.
should have given you some life magic.
Everything will be fine.
For-
These things have a
like-
way of working out.
Weird is currently got 3 intercessions holstered. So yeah,
More than that, isn't it? How many did you
Oh,
use?
I have more than that.
Yeah, we've got like
8 each.
It was
Yeah.
8.
I used 1, so yeah, I've got 7 still. Also, you're still at 5 int, so you're super smart.
Mhm.
Network did definitely drop incognito presence once you guys got back to New York.
Sure.
And just for reference, like the intercessions you have, or if there's any kind of precedent anywhere for it being able to happen, then it can happen.
Because you didn't do the full last tier of it, did
Yeah.
you? Okay.
So if there's some combination of things that could make it happen, it can happen for you.
I'm trying to remember how that actually works.
It won't make the impossible possible, but if there's any,
Okay. So
Mhm.
yes, but they have to spend 1 willpower and 1 mana
Yes.
and the intercession. That's right. I was like, hang on.
Yeah.
There was some limit. Yeah. So you gotta put some oomph into it. But all right, cool. Is there anything specifically that Weird is out to go do while walking?
just soaking in the forces site.
Cool.
It's kind of like, staring into I'm imagining for Weird, it's kind of like looking into a Mandelbrot set. Like it's just complex and yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because forces is like friction and air currents and movement and electricity and potential energy. Yeah.
Gravity.
Yep, gravity.
Which the gravity side is the thing that always intrigues me, because it's like, listen, we have gravity of the planet, but there's also between people, so there's going to be all sorts of waves and motions.
Mm-hmm.
What is this face, Songbird?
I got nothing for the last probably 45 seconds.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
yeah, that's on your
You're
end.
fine.
Yeah.
I think that was just on you. Okay. It's like, did
Okay.
everybody else hear it? Okay. Yeah, in short, Weird is
It's all
having a
good.
good old time bringing in, forces site. Cool. And then where does everybody kind of end their? Well, actually, no. Songbird was had something lined up. What was that? Or just the oblation stuff?
Yeah, just ablations and making some tasks.
Cool. And then where does everybody end up for the night?
Home.
Yeah, after like 1, I figure we'll probably head back and go sleep.
Actual bed
Mm-hmm.
in my rich person apartment that I pay for.
More of a condo than an apartment.
Could be bigger.
That's true. Uh,
It's only like 4,500 square feet or some shit.
It's only like the entire top floor of this building.
No, there's
there's 2 of them.
No, because that building's like an entire block.
Okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's either 2 or 4. I can't remember the way it was laid out, but yeah, it's a big one.
I think there's
Because-
4 of them.
Yeah, because I was looking at the way the map lines up, where everything else would be. But yeah, cool. So yeah, everybody kind of crashes for the night. And oops, I need to here and to look it up earlier while we were getting everything prepped, but technology happened and completely threw me for a loop.
So many stupid rooms in this tent house. I'm looking at the layout of it.
It's great.
Like,
Song,
You just
Songbird's
realized that?
master bedroom, not even including like closet or bathroom.
yeah, you have a
is
sitting room, a
more
media
square feet than
room,
my entire. Yeah.
the great room.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, trust me.
Oh.
Especially just coming off of the house hunt stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 3 bedrooms.
1,600 square foot master bedroom. It's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, that's like the size of your apartment.
Ours is like 1,200.
The master suite is 600 less than the house that I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
No, like I'm trying to get. I can't get my head around this place.
It's huge. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it says like the master bedroom alone is 30 feet by 18 feet. Just big space with a very large bed and a bunch of weights.
And I imagine like sitting. Well, probably not for
probably
Solomon.
the
I was
whole
gonna say
living room
sitting space.
area, right?
Yep.
You have enough space.
It's ridiculous. Sorry. Enough about the fictional house. Yeah.
No, this house is definitely real.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This is not a fictional house.
So, where was this? Right here. So, Atratus, what do you normally dream about? Or does Atratus keep track of her dreams very closely?
No, probably not.
Okay. Which makes tonight even more like eye-catching, as you definitely have like, I mean, it's lucid dreaming. Like there is a definite spot where you realize, hang on, I am asleep and this stuff is all happening. And it is I almost said cornucopia, kaleidoscope of swirling images and we'll borrow the Mandelbrot set, stuff folding in on each other, very Doctor Strange mirror realm kind of stuff. And it all just kind of blends and is a blur of like motion and color. But every now and then you see shapes and figures. And one of which is Zolius, speaking with somebody kind of indistinct. You don't recognize them, but there is a aura of like kind of black and red, kind of malevolence and violence to it. And they're having a conversation, and it's got that muted wah-wah Charlie Brown kind of sound. They're definitely talking. You just can't make it out. And then both of them kind of look at you before they just dissolve away. And that's the big thing that you get from the dream until just before you wake up, where you have like very classic fictional monster in the woods, big red eyes, peering past, enormous tree, tree trunks and branches and stuff like that. And it's just moving in this forest, kind of paralleling you as you kind of walk along the road. Probably not looking like Little Red Riding Hood, but it has that kind of sense of you're off somewhere else and there is this big fucking beast watching you from the woods. And then you wake up.
Well, consider me spooked.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I couldn't have done any, because I have like mind spells that will let me move around inside my dreams and actually take control of them and see what's up. But if I was already asleep, I couldn't have. Yeah, I was just along for the ride. Okay. When I wake up, I definitely want to examine that.
And in short, basically, I'm giving you access to your dream merit without necessarily you calling on it. What is it?
It's like once a chapter.
Once a chapter, yeah.
Into chapters, but
yeah. Basically, those are the two kind of big images. But like I said, there was a kaleidoscope of stuff that you couldn't quite grasp all at the same time. But yeah, later. Obviously something is coming up, and if you feel like this is the thing I'm going to ask and kind of think back, especially because Perfect Recall just says I could remember what I had seen, even for me, especially with between Mage, Mind Magic, and the Attainment itself, it totally makes sense that you just go, I remember what I saw. So yeah, you have that kind of in your holster.
Yeah, right.
Everybody else, you have good, normal, regular dreams.
Good normal dreams. Where you aren't being stalked by things.
And because it's involving him, you gotta wonder, was it actually a dream?
Oh, I mean, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they saw me, which... No.
Very spooky.
I would definitely mention that to y'all. Much spook.
But she'd know if it was a ghost.
Very true.
Yeah. But because at this point I would also be familiar with lucid dreaming, because I would have played around with that just to...
Mm-hmm. Well, especially once you got the dream merit, which literally lets you enter your dreams with some concentration. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you don't even have to do magic to have control of your dreams.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even before that, though, like, as soon as I get the mind ability to do it, it's just like you can turn your body off, but then have, like, a whole night of a magical dreamscape world where you can do anything. Just go have a fun time. But yeah, just tell you guys what I saw, and it's... Or tell Songbird, because Weird's not there in the morning, but...
Over coffee. So I had weird dreams.
Yeah. Pretty odd dreams. Zilius was there with someone evil. Got the evil sense. Also being
like scary
hunted
weird
and
dream.
stalked.
Okay. Got it.
Yes.
Was really worried for a second. Now I'm just worried.
Just normal
Utterly worried.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They saw you?
Yes. I don't
Fun.
know. Yeah. And yeah, hunted and stalked is the feel. So that's fun.
Sarah dancing by the doorway every time. I'm just like, oh me. Interesting. Well, we're gonna kill him anyways, so.
I mean, that's Oleus.
No, the other one.
The presence, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably his boss,
I feel
right?
like that was probably the boss, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's like
Nebulous,
a big,
evil
fucking
feel.
scary, evil Thyrsus, right? So.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always told us at least that much.
Correct.
So, boss and Graves both Thyrsus? Okay,
Double checking with Drew. Yes, that's correct.
I'm 90% sure.
Graves is Thyrsus, which is why I didn't know if the boss was.
You do not know what Graves was.
Do we
The
know?
boss is definitely the boss is definitely a Thyrsus. Mr. Graves, you do not know.
Graves has life, though.
And mine.
Based on your
Mind
records,
was Cynthia.
based on your records, what you guys came up with, I'm pulling this out of Conca, is that you guys assumed, based on what he had done and stuff, that he had death, fate, forces, space, and time.
I thought Zolius gave us that information, though.
We can
We
double
were
check.
talking about having to kill him. We
Right.
can watch the
We
episode.
can
go
or
back.
whatever, it's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. I had it in my head that he was Thyrsus, and that's why I want to just punch him to death real quick. Because if I try and attack him with magic, he can slough it off, just like I can.
We can consult the video later. But yeah, you definitely know the big boss. I'm 90% sure I will go consult the video later. But yeah, the big bosses should be a Thyrsus. Or let me say he is. I will double check what the information actually was
Word.
given.
No plans for today?
I mean, Songbird would know that there's a council meeting, right?
Correct.
Or a Consilium meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah, so got that tonight. Is it masquerade attire?
Yeah,
all the
Mask
monthly,
and black tie.
all the monthly
Good.
meetings are always the masquerade. Which I think at this point, after the past couple months, like there's a little like, because well, all your close, interactions with the vampires, and the fact that Shiko has been invited to a Consilium meeting at one point, as kind of a like branch, and everybody's there in masks in a masquerade, and she's going like, really?
Mage, the
Aesthetics.
masquerade.
Aesthetics are important.
Then it may be dress shopping time. Gotta wear something new.
Sure, right.
Gotta look good.
I was actually thinking, let's go to the workshop and
Right. That's exactly what I was like. Is this a like cabal effort? Like, do all 5 of you show up like matched and attired, or is it more of an individual? No, okay.
No, because we all got very different styles.
Oh, sure.
your
but
own
you can-
individual birds.
right, but you can make well, and that's exactly it. Is the bird theme is still fairly prevalent? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah, I was
actually
going to go to the workshop and build a new mask.
One guess what color Songbird wears.
red.
Is it red?
Like, I imagine Songbird actually wears the jacket with every outfit. I think it's like, okay, we're going to talk about this stream, have our coffee. Okay, back to the Rookery because we got to glam up. Or at least prep to glam. It's later tonight, so you don't have to actually change that. Yeah. So yeah, back at the Rookery itself, the whole cabal is there fairly early because it is Consilium Day. So like in the case for Network and Titus, they're up pretty quickly and like go out on their patrol kind of early. Rose is like super glad when you guys show up because she's like, okay, what do I wear? What's the etiquette? Because she's freaking out because this is her first Consilium, meeting. So she's trying to, match up. And that is one of the other things is like she's going to be presented as one of the newest mages of the Consilium. Kind of, she's still new, she's still in training, but she's in a cabal. She's, a real mage as opposed to just awakened and is trying to get a grasp on reality. She's got enough. I mean, she's been to an Emanation Realm. Like she's met up with some werewolves. She's good.
Just raking
All right,
in that
Rose.
arcane XP.
Wait, sorry. What's her shadow name again?
Thank you, Nako.
Nako.
Nico.
I like grab her by the shoulders. Like, we need to get you something with feathers. And I know, girl, you've got a big string of pearls somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of night.
And then she realizes, oh crap, a bird.
What's a bird? Yeah.
Right. It's like, so you guys take to the internet to BuzzFeed quizzes and it's like, what is your
What
word?
bird are you? She keeps ending up with dinosaurs.
She can be an Archaeopteryx.
Nako shows up as a cassowary.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, they're horrifying.
Yeah,
That's
as
a
a
pretty
Thyrsus.
good
Yeah. Like everybody else, beautiful little songbirds and a crow and an owl and cassowary. It's like, Jesus. I don't know what kind of bird she would. Twitch chat, while we continue to play, let me hear your comments on bird type for Nako, our new
Good
Thyrsus.
burbs.
Good burbs. Please provide
Good
Twitch chat.
burbs in chat.
That said, while she's like working that out and then trying to figure out clothing, do you guys talk about the dreams any further, or is that just a like we're going to put a pin in that and we'll talk about it later? Where are we with that?
I mean, at this point, I don't think I have much else to say beyond just that, hi, this happened. We can go explore it further later, maybe. I can pull it up and dive into it and try to see if I can see anything else, but for right now, let's do a meeting. Do a fashion.
Cool. Just because there's one owl doesn't mean there can't be more. Twitch chat, I tell you what, like, if they keep growing, they're going to run, like, you know, because let's be honest, you have Atreides. Well, Atreides was the vulture for a while, but I don't think at all dresses vulture-y.
I mean, most of her things are like, it's all in black, it's feathers, it's all synthetic. Like everything she's got that's feathery is like the shoulder piece is like acrylics. Feathers made of plastic and leather and metal.
But yeah, specifically, you're not going for a necessarily specific bird vibe, just birdie. Yeah.
For the mask though, I do like a vulture skull just because they're really cool skulls.
Yep.
They have wicked hooks on their beaks.
All the better for...
Yes, Songbird leans very much into like fucking cardinals, blue jays, peacocks, like showy
peacocks.
Fucking bullshit.
What a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Showy bullshit.
Imagine Weird really leans into the ravens now. Yeah. Mockingbird, Hacksaw, Blue Jay, Robin. Like, you guys are... Chocobo! All right. Everybody go
home. Done.
Yep.
I actually really do like, just now that you mentioned the cassowary.
Ibis. That's also a good one.
Ibis is good.
I think Nika might actually go with Ibis.
I had to remember what a cassowary was. Now I get it.
Yeah. It's a scary ostrich.
Bracelets with spikes on them.
Yes. Yeah. I think Nico's a little bit too nice to go full cassowary, but yeah.
Not quite disemboweling, but no, the Thothfolk is good. It is.
I'm looking at this picture, and this is a dinosaur.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Kids at home, go check out the cassowary. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the ibis is Thoth, the knowledge god.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I think, yeah.
She could be Scarlet Ibis.
But yeah, I was going to say, I think, that is a very pretty bird. Yeah, there you go. Neko is totally on board. But yeah, I imagine Atreides busts out like the big brain mythology, anthropology, stuff and goes, okay, let's talk about meanings about birds, and pulls out the big book of birds. Because let's be honest, if there's one book you guys have, like there's some huge like bird watching, bird identifying books somewhere in the cabal.
There's the big book of burbs, and then there's the big book of burbs for dummies.
Sure.
Songbird and Jimmy got that one.
Yeah. No, not duck.
Duck.
I mean, just ducks are dicks. So, moving on. Otherwise, that conversation goes places.
Yep. Always to the same ones.
Yep.
I really like a Scarlet Ibis for her, especially since her name is Rose.
Mm-hmm, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah, it works very, very well. Jimmy is probably a blue jay or a robin.
I thought he was an owl. Who's the owl?
I don't know.
Multiple people mention an owl. I thought because Jimmy, like Erica's network, like looks out over everybody and
yeah.
Because I remember there was a time I think where Was Weird Owl-ish? No?
She's always been Raven.
Okay.
Well, before she was the Shrike.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There was, yeah. At least that's the labyrinth.
And then you never stabbed anyone with your sword in 120 episodes.
That's true. Hey, guys,
shit.
welcome to 120. But yeah. And, you know, let's be honest. It's a bird cabal. They can change stuff up all over the place. So, yeah. So you guys kind of get your stuff ready, set aside, and kind of while away the morning and afternoon. Is there anything specific you do? I imagine you probably pull a couple more points of mana out of the Hallow. And yeah, cool. Was there any other stuff, or do we jump to the meeting?
I wanted to try and set the groundwork to do another door.
I mean, it's not setting the door. You can just go meet up or call or whatever you want to do.
Sure, but the angle I wanted to take on it was try and find out what his like guilty pleasure or things that he likes to enjoy for his leisure activities.
Well, now see, that's two different things. Are you using those guilty pleasures to open the door, or otherwise you're just getting information about Moonkeeper?
Well, I'm planning on using those to open the door, but I need to know what they are first.
Yeah, which, I mean, that itself would be the role. And
yeah,
we don't
and
need
it's
to
just
make
assumed to use those to
right. Exactly. What dice would you like to throw at this to come up with that information? I would expect possibly Socialize or Streetwise.
I have a specialization in rumors. You want to ask for help?
Yeah. How about persuasion and manipulation? Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to go
asking him?
getting it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
if you're asking him directly.
I don't want to get it from him. I want to get it from people that know him.
That works for me too.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, if nothing else, chatting up with Songbird and be like, hey, so about Moonkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
What about him?
Woo. Wow. 9 dice, 0 successes. Okay.
Yike.
So yeah, you do some, and yeah, I think actually you go talk to Songbird.
Songbird doesn't know shit about Moonkeeper.
Well, no, because bear in mind, Songbird probably knows a lot about Moonkeeper, but it's going to be professional, tactical, and adamantine arrow. What are his likes and dislikes? The fuck do I know? He prefers time magic. That's what he likes, right? Yeah. I think at this
probably
point,
enjoyed aging a vampire to death. That was probably fun.
Yep. So yeah, so no door.
You have intercessions.
And it's tempting, but I also have wisdom, so no. I won't blow an intercession on this.
I mean, okay.
Yep.
It's not an act of hubris to use an intercession.
Well, it's using magic to do something that
could be an act of hubris.
But she just proved that she couldn't do it.
And see, that's where you get into the back and forth and the kind of fun stuff about wisdom. But at this point, I kind of lean to the player's call of like, she's not going to do that because it's using her magic. Will it door? It will not
see
door.
if I've heard anything. Because I've got because I mean we're all here while you're asking this, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, I've got Streetwise and a +1 because I've got a socialization and knowing rumors.
Mm-hmm.
So what would it? Intelligence?
I'm okay with that. I'm kind of pulling on your like pass on. Hey, I heard this thing.
Knowledge of rumors.
And
any
successes
+1.
Any successes that you get will be additional die that will apply retroactively to Weird's roll, and so we'll give Weird a couple more dice to throw at this door, perhaps. Because I've like this whole like we're
3
getting to get,
successes.
oh, there you go. 3 more dice there. Weird. Mostly because I like this whole, hey, Songbird, do you know anything about this? No. And Travis goes, hey, doesn't Moonkeeper like
I've
such
heard.
and such? There you go.
Hey,
There's
there we go.
Yeah.
9 dice, 0 successes.
Hooray.
3 dice, 2 successes. Weird, everybody. So yeah, you very quickly get, and especially as often as you've met up with Moonkeeper for coffee and stuff like that, Moonkeeper has a sweet tooth for coffee flavored anything. It like the more weird and bizarre it might be, the more kind of amusing it might be, and that's just his go-to flavor of stuff. And so yeah, it's one of those like, hey, I heard you liked, and and especially with a little bit of fate magic, stumbling across some limited edition run, or because let's be honest, Japan
Coffee
has
jelly beans or some shit.
I was going to Kit Kats, but yes, because Japan has tons of flavors of Kit Kats, and the U.S. is screwed. But yeah, so be it.
You can also just get really good espresso candies at like the Asian grocery stores.
Yep. So
Little
does
espresso hard
Weird put
candies are
together
super
a
good.
little gift basket of stuff, or I'm curious how Weird plays this out as a thing.
So I don't want to give it to him directly. I just want to, if I can bend shifting the odds a little bit, put it in a place where he's going to see it, or come across it, and then it's going to end up in his hands.
Here's the question, because it's a door that's about your relationship to Moonkeeper.
Right, but he's also
It's come from
he's
you.
also an acanthus. When
Okay, so you're
unusual
assuming
things happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're assuming
Like me buying him a coffee and I just happen to spill it all over the ground on my way to meet him. Like, that's freaking Moonkeeper.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I like that. There's that moment of what the heck is. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, okay, I did that. Meanwhile, every mage in the Consilium is going, "Oh, fucking acanthus." But cool. I dig that. I like the play of that. So coffee flavored chocolate from the hedge. No, nothing from the hedge, nothing from the Fae, food related. No, thank you. Weird knows better for sure. So cool.
A friend posted a picture today of a unopened bag of pork rinds that he was walking by on the sidewalk. I was like, this is the weirdest start of a Fae trickery deal I've ever seen.
Yep, good man. Good stuff.
Got some weird hillbilly Fae down in Alabama.
So there's a little bit of arrangement of making sure that shows up, which is kind of nice because it's timed just before the Consilium meeting. So you guys traverse up north out of New York up to the big house that at this point you guys are kind of familiar with. Make your way past security. Rose has grabbed somebody's arm for a little bit of emotional support.
Absolutely hold mine. I'm a toucher anyway. So.
Yeah, okay, that's true. And you guys kind of make your way up. And like I said, especially because for you guys especially, and for Songbird especially, appearance is a big thing. So everybody else is showing
I'm
up
important.
But there is the peacocking level of stuff where most everybody else is like they show up in nice suits or kind of normal dresses, things that aren't too gaudy or out of the ordinary. Some of the Silver Ladder, some of the Free Council might be a little bit more eye catching, but then like this 5 of you. 6, excuse me, because Titus goes.
Fucking couture runway.
Right. And it's just like, what is like, because it's the group of you, rolling up, ready to rumble and make your way in. And there is definitely, compared to the previous meetings that we've done, it's been 6 months. The cabal has made some moves. Songbird is now the provost of one of the counselors. There was a whole new position within the cabal that was made for not the cabal, the Consilium, that was made for Tratus as the ambassador to other supernatural folks, which has quite a few members of the Diamond Orders, the non-free council folks, who are going, oh, that's out of the ordinary, and we don't like out of the ordinary. The free council are like, dude, this is cool. Progress. Look at that. We have ambassadors. So as you guys roll up, the adamantine arrow guards who are kind of, on station and stuff like that, there is not preferential treatment. You guys aren't like brought up in front, but there's definite like nods. Nobody bows because it's a Consilium, but
we're all mages.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely some nods of respect. I'm thinking now, well, never mind. We're just going to roll with this, and you guys can correct me later if you'd like. But at the start of the meeting, because we've kind of bounced around and never gone over all the details of the meeting, but one of the aspects of the Consilium, and it's done in different ways in different Consiliums, but in New York, if you want to declare and say, hey, I am a master, you got to prove it. You have to show it. Because let's be honest, gameplay mechanic wise says you get the 5th dot of Arcana. Congratulations. But real learning is more granular than that. And it's only once you can do things at the 5th level means that you have earned that 5th dot. And so there is a part of the meeting probably at the start because you want to be identified and acknowledged as a master before you get into the real talk, because hey, I'm a master, I can speak on behalf of this thing or that bit of knowledge. I think there's a bit of a rustle as both Weird and Songbird stand up, and like two people from this already fairly controversial cabal who are doing things a little bit out of the ordinary, and they both stand up at the same time and they're like, Jesus Christ, really? Looking over and seeing the two of you, and we don't need a die roll, but as you guys perform,
can I say what I do though?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I bring something that I've crafted, some little whatever 1-dot spell or imbued item, and then blow it up with Word of Unmaking.
That's kind of what I figured. I was like, that's the easy one to just, and this is just gone now, as it just completely unravels. And there's a polite bit of clapping. There's a couple mystagogues who are gasping because such a thing is blasphemous.
I'll make another one. It's fine.
Right, exactly. What about Weird?
I'm really tempted to do Swarm of Locusts, but
that's the problem with proving that you're a master of a subtle arcana.
Yeah. So what about shutting out the lights?
Oh, as Swarm of Insects? Building? Sure. You can do that.
Instead of the insects, I'll use one of my intercessions to have a 20-second power outage.
Sure. Yeah. What I was going to actually suggest is that Weird might just motion at the cabal and say, "Inspect us," because you all have Weird's Nimbus and 8 intercessions, and But no, that is much cooler. It's just like
so I just step up and then I snap my fingers and the lights go out.
And everyone goes, right. Oh, and that's, it's like, that's weird. Okay, hang on. And there's the moment where, and like, there's the higher level, like, fate mages and a couple other people who are in the know who go, oh, okay. And like, a lot of other people are going, I don't get it, but like, especially like some of the like.
There's a couple like brand new Abrimos like, Okay, and
Right, that's exactly where I was going with that. Some folks
I
are
can
like,
do that too.
yeah, and some folks have to lean over and it's like, yes, but this is the convoluted, ridiculous way to do it, which is acanthus written all over it. And
fucking acanthus.
there's maybe like one other person in the Consilium who steps up and demonstrates mastery, or potentially another degree of mastery. But there are very few who have more than two, or that have more than one degree of mastery. Getting into that second degree of mastery means that your gnosis has gone to that superhuman level, which, I mean, mages are already a little superhuman, but yeah. So yeah, you guys kind of step beyond that and are acknowledged as masters of your crime and fate. And then meeting kind of continues on. Actually, in that same meeting or portion of the meeting, Rose is acknowledged. A little bit of clapping as people.
Hooray!
Yeah, and acknowledge her and Stephen Klein as members of full-fledged, full voting members, I guess would be the way they say it, of the Consilium. And Stephen is a crossover sitting with his cabal and kind of gives Weird a nod. It's like, hey, yep, this is your doing, thanks bud, kind of thing. And things roll on a little bit more to a update from, almost said Red Dread, but from Pip about the fact that there are seers in Lower Manhattan, and that they have made this deal. Borsine is called forth as the lictor who wrote it and transcribed it and reads it out, and there is definitely like some kerfluffle amongst the various mages who are going, wait, hang on, what? And it's enough to the point that the hierarch kind of brings his hands up and all right, thank you, everybody shush, and kind of motions to the cabal and says, Rookery, would you like to follow up and explain any further details that we may need to know outside of the bronze law that Borsine has read to us?
We have free passage through their lands. Yeah. What do you want to say?
I just want to say no.
We didn't really feel like going to war right now, so
Yeah, just want to lay out that we've agreed not to bother them in these zones. Those rules only apply to us. We didn't promise them anything in regards to anyone else. So if they pick a fight with werewolves, that's on them.
Which most of the Consilium are like, yeah, if you mess with werewolves, that's on you. That's not our thing anyways. That's an Atreides thing.
They wanted us to promise them safety from everything, and we said no. We just agreed that we would not bother them in their zones.
Well, we being
the
Consilium.
Yeah.
We've effectively codified the situation that's existed for several years.
And we're not going to war, so.
There's again, a little bit of, hubbub, as, people are expressing dislike, and some people are like, oh, smart. I would like somebody to roll. It's probably going to be Songbird. Presence plus persuasion to kind of put a spin on it, and see just where it actually goes. It actually, since it is going to be Songbird rolling, go ahead and add 2 because you're the provost and you have a position within the elf.
They also have the reputation of being the person who goes out and fights the seers.
Fucking wrecks seers, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think if I had any other bonuses, but that should be it.
Okay, yeah. So still 4 successes. 5. Yeah, shame there wasn't that one more, but still 4 successes. More or less, like because I think there's the hubbub after like Atratus basically says, "Hey, we're not going to war." Weird says, "Hey, we're just trying to codify what already existed," and then Songbird puts the foot down. Everyone goes, "Okay, yeah. The seer killer says," and okay, everybody kind of sits back because over the past 6 months, Songbird has a reputation. Songbird kills seers and leads raids on seers, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna fight you," and Songbird basically defeated somebody in a duel, and they're like, "All right, yeah." When it comes to seers, you just go check with Songbird because they're the one with the experience. So there's definitely still some folks who are not happy, notably quite a few Silver Laterites, some Thearchs, basically are like, "Whoa, hang on, like this is unprecedented sharing territory," but it's like, well, no, not really sharing territory.
They have some enclaves. It's literally just keeping what has already been going on, but now we know where they are, and if this needs to change in the future, it can change.
Right. Which satisfies most people. The Free Council are surprisingly okay with this, and I think it's like when you mentioned that you know exactly where they are, and the Free Council is like, yeah. Like they step a toe out of line, they break any rules, and a whole bunch of Free Council guys go, "Hi, so listen about your plumbing." It's just fucked now. So cool. Is there anything that the Cabal wishes to bring up as kind of new information or new business to the Consilium? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, and that's kind of what I'd expected, but it was just one of those. Ooh, this is a opportunity somebody could throw something in here. For the most part, things kind of continue on. There's some status updates on some longer term projects that people are working on. There's an announcement from one of the other Prime Masters. They've basically realigned some resonance and formed a halo. So that's marked down, and there's, okay, yeah, that's good. And yeah, I know. And
give me a few more days.
Yep. And it's, one of those things of, we're bringing, because every new halo is more truth, more mana being brought into this side of the world, which is a good thing, generally speaking. It brings in some trouble with locus and resonance and stuff like that. But for the most part, Pentacle mages tend to look at halos as being a positive thing. Some various other paperworky kind of stuff. So-and-so is leaving this cabal. These cabals are hashing out a bronze law to, settle an agreement. There's probably one or two arcane duels at the tail end where people are leaving and other people are getting snacks and stuff like that. And while people are sitting and eating, little hot dogs on toothpicks, mages are, fighting over the right to keep that grimoire that we made this together. When now that we're splitting up, who gets to keep the grimoire? Okay, arcane duel over it. Kind of shenanigans. As the meeting kind of wears down, Hadramiel comes over and takes Songbird by the arm and kind of draws away and says, "So there may be a change up in the ranks coming soon." The hierarch is expressing dissatisfaction with his counselors, not as a whole, but and kind of looks down at himself with a some of them are undermining what he's wanting to do, which is within his right to remove a counselor, so just keep a weather eye out. I don't, this stuff normally doesn't come to blows, but every now and then insults get thrown and stuff like that. And I think I'm okay because Sun and Winter and I don't like each other, but we have a professional relationship. I'm thinking it's probably Factory. But if he removes Factory, then the Free Council no longer has a seat on the council.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to upset the Free Council, who, if you haven't noticed in kind of waves, are kind of a big number. And meanwhile, the Adamantine Arrow have 2 seats. So that might be happening in the next couple weeks. I know, fun drama, the stuff that you really don't care about, but I'm letting you know.
Fine.
As my
I
provost,
do actually care about those. Like, you would know that. I'm actually interested in the wheeling and dealing in politics and stuff.
Okay, I wasn't, and I wasn't. That was more of a slip up on my end more than anything.
That's fine.
Yeah. So
because he would know that.
And so.
Okay. We probably would have talked about this at some point, but why do the Guardians not have anybody on the council? I get that.
Because nobody likes Guardians.
Shardell is the
Sentinel.
No, that's not right.
Isn't it?
Herald.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have a Sentinel as far as I'm aware.
We probably do, but we just haven't run into him.
Probably should have been me.
Hey, if you want to make a move. Yeah, he's the Herald. And primarily the Guardians have never expressed interest in like pushing to have a representative on the council. They would, I think Cadramio puts it, they would rather be, internal affairs and not be tied directly to the council. That way they can investigate the council without question of them seeking further power. I don't know how they work. I'd suggest talking to Weird, but Weird isn't heavy on the politics side, and out of character, Craig. It's not like Weird is like attending the regular meetings of the Guardians or anything, right? The Guardians are happy to have Weird as the nice face for the order.
She's not that bad. Yeah,
they're not bad.
A little kooky. It's fine.
Look at this labyrinth. It's a theater. They do musical theater sometimes. Even it's just
They don't murder anyone.
Also, we put on our faces and kill people sometimes.
Yeah, but that's the other stuff. We don't talk about that stuff. Look at Weird.
That bit.
But that's also a role that the Consilium needs us to do.
Right. Which is the big Guardian thing. And because the Guardians will play that martyr card of, like the Interfector is, always a Guardian and stuff like that. So, but, yeah.
Do we have an Interfector? They're just not around.
I'm trying to remember if I listed.
Maybe you just don't know who it is.
I believe we'd probably have a few.
Usually there's just
always
one. Let me see here. Consilium. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I had written down who the Interfector was. We shall see. Yes, Camiel.
Just never fucked up. I'd have to meet them.
Camiel is the Guardian of Brimos, and yes, you guys have not met Camiel. Camiel is just so.
Brimos.
Yes, Camiel is the student of. Man, I don't know why I'm trying to remember names when I just pull it up in Conca. Of Vala. Vala was Camiel's mentor. They both do that whole gender neutral face mask, like just unflappable,
unknowable.
Yeah. When Camiel shows up, it's like some angel of death, faceless, not pleased about this, not upset about this. It's just gotta do this. And I think in the past 6 months, like you guys have, heard of Camiel, having to pass, judgment and stuff like that, or hunt down somebody who's, gone awry. But, it happens. It's one of those, okay, we don't talk about that now. Now, of course, nobody's like soul has been ripped out. It's usually somebody is brought in for, questioning. Yes, you did it. Okay, these are the punishments. Yes, we're going to take that terrible, terrible grimoire that you made and we're going to destroy it. Things of that nature. But yes.
Yeah, that thing you made out of perfected human skin with somebody's soul in it. Yeah, we're going to need that.
Yep. We're going to put that soul back where it belongs. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. So with that, is there anything that you guys are... actually, I almost forgot. Moonkeeper comes over to chat with Weird and is very amiable and stuff like that. And it's like, candy? And just hands over. And,
Don't mind if I do.
And there's just a little bit of, you guys kind of chatting and, kind of enjoying it stuff. And you realize that you have made enough progress chatting with Moonkeeper that yes, Moonkeeper considers you a close confidant and an ally, especially now that you are a master, which was also going to be one of my requirements that I was not mentioning. But yeah, now that you are a master, it's not quite as a discrepancy in power and knowledge. You guys can speak master to master. And, to put it another way, because you have a mastery in an arcana, you could replace Moonkeeper. Not that is something Weird is looking to do, but at that point, because you are a master, you could be called upon as the Acanthus counselor. So yeah, Moonkeeper having you as an ally is or not necessarily allies in the merit, but as a confidant is cool by him.
So does that open the door for me to take that second dot?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah,
I want to. Good. I want to chat with Tisa.
Sure. Your friend, your friendly college professor who is a Mastiagos that you don't hate. Yes.
Yeah. He's friend. I want to ask him about Mammon.
Mammon or Zolius?
Zolius?
I want to know because he was in his head. Kiza has information that we don't on him. So.
Okay, so you were asking about Zolius. Sorry, there was just my brain was like, yes. You didn't answer the question. Yes, you did. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's a kind of looks
when he was Mammon,
right?
Yeah,
and he's.
I want to mention that he's shown back up.
Not quite new and improved, but
yeah, he's reappeared in our lives in some small fashion, and I want to know basically everything we know about him because he didn't tell us anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hiza goes, okay, that seems like a probable and okay reason to branch, the whole patient, client, whatever, the thing, disclosures. Yeah. Come by my office tomorrow and we'll chat because this is not exactly the appropriate place for that
not
conversation.
Here,
but it is something that we definitely should probably talk about if he's back.
Sounds good.
Bring, whoever else within the cabal that needs to know because we'll just get it all out.
Sure.
And anything else you guys do at the meeting?
I just wanted to, the folks who are grumbling about the deal that we made with the Seers,
mm-hmm.
I just kind of want to work the room around them to reinforce that the people that are grumbling did nothing for years. So why are they grumbling now?
Sure.
In a subterfuge sort of way.
Oh, no. This is 100% socialize.
Okay.
Yep. This is you work in the crowd.
All right.
And you can use manipulation
You're not actively
or
lying. You're
presence. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to, draw a red line under that phrase for them in a subtle way, not
well, and that's
come
where
out and confront them or anything.
So that's the manipulation. So manipulation plus plus socialize.
Right. I need more dots in socialize.
But now that you got 5 in fate, what else do you have to spend? Hey, there you go. Four dice, 2 successes. That works. So yeah, you spend the rest of the party, the meeting, just talking and I imagine a lot of it is like talking with Moonkeeper, just as you guys kind of walk about, and possibly some of the other guardians, Shodell. Cambiel is there. Cambiel does not talk to anybody. But yeah, just having quiet little conversation, talking with Network, talking with Rose, Nako, go talk with, Stephen Klein, who has picked out a shadow name. I haven't figured it out. Just kind of work the crowd and just remind everybody that, hey, you showed up. They had this territory and you claimed all this stuff around their territory that they already had. And all this is doing is finalizing it. So cool.
And the underlining point was the people who were beaking about us making that deal did nothing about them for years before we came in.
Right.
So yeah. Just trying to take the wind out of their sails.
Oh yeah.
As far as that goes. Okay.
Cool. There's anything else I had at the meeting itself? I
want to grab Hadramiel, kind of as people are starting to leave, and talk a little bit about the project.
Mm-hmm. Actually, at the meeting?
Over in a corner.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, you at least make some level of hey, this is a private conversation kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And I think what I am doing is sharing my double patterned summoning circle and discussing what possible avenues of further improvement that 2 masters of Prime could add to that. Basically, I want to make a rote to set down to leave, because I'm besides just the artifact itself, Songbird, especially if we're still smart today.
I
recognizes that
I definitely think Atratus would keep that spell running.
There's value in leaving behind research notes and stuff like that. So having this codified rote. So I think the theory that Songbird brings up would be working in the soul stone in the domain, further melding it with the actual summoning circle and stuff. And possibly even working in what if we make a hollow as, and these are just a spitball of ideas, but the idea is to just how can we get the closest to the supernal possible, and that is the big honking 5-dot spell that Songbird's trying to come up with.
Gotcha. Yeah, try and basically create a verge plus domain plus something as a spell. Cool. Yeah, and you guys get drawn into some very hushed conversation, and he takes a couple notes. He's like, I'm gonna have to think about this. Because obviously now is not the time to have that full conversation. Right. But yeah. Right. Yeah, cool. Of course, bringing up the fact that, you want this. Oh, we're going to do it as a rote. Okay, yeah. So Songbird needs to start practicing casting the spell again and again and again to start to codify it. Cool. Which also reminds me, wasn't Weird working on a rote?
has an intention, but she hasn't put much work into it yet.
Okay, that's what I was reading from the situation, but yeah. Okay, cool.
I thought you had done that.
No, because it takes
maybe as kitty cat.
It is kitty cat.
Sorry, maybe as part of this conversation, I start not so subtly asking to start drawing on some of the Consilium's task reserves.
Interesting. If you're drawing on the Consiliums, you're gonna have to roll your Consilium status.
Mm-hmm. I'll use a willpower on this.
Okay.
2 successes.
Cool. And you have Consilium status of what?
3.
3? Okay, yeah. So he's like, okay, there's a 3-dot hallow that, can arrange for you to have, private use for the, length of the project.
Right.
Cool. Or more specifically, if it's easier, he can basically arrange for somebody to deliver tasks to the Rookery. Okay.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Cool.
Somebody just shows up with
delivered.
a backpack full of tasks.
Which is terrific because, like depending on where it's like showing up with giant geode crystal things, or
And a bone.
Like a mishmash of shit.
Edibuns, yep. I actually let me see here. So I have a random generator that might work for this. I use it for D&D all the time. Nope, not that one. Shoot. Is my food random generator. There we are. Dude, I have the best.
That's awesome. No, I love it. It's great.
So yeah, perfect. Okay. Random beverage. So yes, starting tomorrow, the Rookery is getting delivery of jugs of mana coffee.
You're gonna expect me not to drink that?
I mean, you can drink it
as soon as it gets there. It's straight into the fire.
Go ahead.
And Songbird, just so you know, I've got a classic old style 50s Coke machine sitting next to a hollow in my office. You can take all the Coke out of there you want.
Just probably take the mana itself.
Sure.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, because you could just drive over.
I can't afford to drink fucking 150 calories of sugar every day. 150 grams of sugar every day.
So yes, with that, and Noctal pointing out Dr. Tass, which I need to have now. But thanks for that. We will call this episode but we'll call it good. We're just done here. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, join us on Discord, yeetinto.space. Love to chat with you, talk about your preferred method of mana imbibing. Mana buns, Dr. Tass, coffee, beer, whatever. So yeah, and if you want to support us monetarily, that is patreon.com/occultistanonymous or staylucky.club. I have an email sitting telling me that I may be able to set up payments via other currencies, like doing, I think, pounds and euros and stuff like that. So we may have some stuff set up a little bit differently for our international audience. That way you can pay a flat 5 of whatever instead of having to mess with currency exchange and changing price or whatever. I don't know what it does for you international folks, but we'll hopefully have it neat and cleaned up and tidy and stuff like that. So Twitch guys, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. YouTube guys, we'll see you on Friday. Take us out of here, Craig.
Stay lucky.